You're watching the Ram Pump Wizard. In today's Ram Pump video, I'm going to be testing out the minimum input head pressure for the Ram Pump. This is important information. If you have a creek that does not have a lot of drop to it, it's important to know how little drop you can have to start and activate and keep the Ram Pump going. So enjoy the video finding out what the minimum input head pressure is. Typically, if you're using the smallest Ram pump, you're concerned about the amount of water that is required to operate the pump and probably a low head pressure as well. So in this case, I'm going to be doing a test. What is the lowest head pressure or drop in water that will run a 1/2 inch pump? So the setup is, I've got the 1/2 inch pump down there and I've got a garden hose going up the hill. We can drag that back down if we need to. And so we've got 40 foot of 1/2 inch drive pipe, which comes up to a bucket. And I've got a float valve in here, which will keep our water level consistent. And that's what we're going to use as our head pressure. So whenever it's a source like this, it's actually hydrostatic pressure. So I'm going to walk down here and see how much pressure we have got to work with. To find out how much head pressure we're working with, I'm going to disconnect the drive pipe real quick. I'm going to turn the water back on, let it flow out of my pipe. Oops, I probably should go open that valve over there. There's our water. So in order to determine how high our head pressure is, I'm going to lift this up, and wherever the water stops flowing will be our head pressure value. Okay, we've got 20 inches right there. Let's see if 20 inch is enough to get this pump running. Typically, I recommend that people use anywhere from 3 feet on to get a pump going. Opening the valve. So 20 inches is not quite enough to get this pump going. You'll see that the valve doesn't want to close. And that's because there's not enough head pressure pushing the water strong enough to close that valve. You can actually tilt the waste valve over to the side. Yeah. Turn the pressure tank back upright. Move this like that. So now there is less force required to close that valve because it is already partially swung closed already. So let's see if we can get this to operate now. It should start on its own now, but that will greatly reduce the efficiency out. So we now know that we are working with 20 inches of head pressure. Let's see if we can go lower. I just scooted the pump further up the hill. Remove this again and find out what our new head pressure value is. All right, that's about 10 inches. I don't think this is going to work, but we'll give it a try. All right, and as you can guess, it is requiring a lot more water to operate. Let's drop it down about 2 inches. So that is approximately 1 foot of input head pressure. Let's cut the valve way to the side, and it is functioning, but just barely. If I were to let the pump run like this, it would probably get a height of somewhere around 6 feet or so up this hill. So you're looking at about right here is how high it would lift. I just opened up the delivery pipe right here, which goes along this garden hose and on up the hill. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes and we will see how high this 1 foot of input head pressure with a tilted waste valve will lift. My assumption is about even with this stick right here. So let's find out. After several minutes, I moved it from right here where it had a foot back down to 20 inches because it was taking far too long. So it had made it up to about right here, which was taking forever. So I've moved the hose down to this point here. 20 inches of head pressure should be able to lift water here. So I will let it sit there for a while and we'll get some output. I've let this pump for 30 minutes and I think it is almost filled this garden hose up here to about the 6 to 7 foot mark. I can hear it. It's somewhere right around here. So we've got about a foot more to go. Definitely not pumping very fast. My pump down in the creek over here has 7 foot of head pressure and is pumping about a 1/4 gallon a minute past the house up here on the hill. So having the check valve totally upright makes an enormous difference in the efficiency of the pump. So in a minute, whenever this is done, I will actually lift up our bucket to another foot, and we will see what it's like to have closer to 3 feet of head pressure, and we'll be able to tilt the valve up and you'll see the difference in the output. Okay, it's quite comical. All of that, about 45 minutes to get this kind of flow rate here. Just a little trickle. So let's increase the amount of head pressure by about 6 inches or so, and we'll turn the valve upright hopefully, and that right there should be significantly improved. See if the lift I just gave it is enough to get this upright here. Not quite. Let me add a little bit more lift on that head pressure. The bucket was right here and now it is right there, so that's a lift of about a foot. And let's see if that makes much of a difference down here at the pump. I anticipate that it will operate now with regular valve placement. And it's very close. I now have the valve just slightly off to the side, and that seems to be doing the trick. It's hammering a lot stronger than it was before. Let's take a look at our output. Almost twice the output. I know it's hard to tell from here, but that is a good bit more. So what is the point of all of this? Well, someone asked me, what is the minimum input head pressure you can have for the 1/2 inch pump? And pretty much all the pumps are the same. It's just gonna require more water to run bigger pumps. But I would not go anything less than about 2 feet. So you can see that the pump will work on about 1 foot of head pressure, but it's not gonna give you much output at all at the 6 to 7 foot mark up here. So that being the case, if you have about 2 feet of head pressure, you can lift well at 7 foot. If you have 3 feet, then you're looking more like the 15 to 16 foot of lift and having a pretty good flow rate. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you can see, you have to have about 2 feet to really run the ram pump. However, I recommend that you have 3 feet or more to have a consistent cycle and keep the pump going, because sometimes those 2 foot or less input head pressures will cause the ram pump to stop at random. So just keep that in mind. I'm Seth, the Ram Pump Wizard. Be sure to check the links in the description down below for the ram pumps, and I will see you in the next video.